Same here. It gave me a fucking mouth. I was like, huh, what, huh?
God, fucking OBS with the pop-ups. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS.
Yeah. We're starting off great.
We both got pop-ups. OBS is a finicky bitch. Anyways, welcome to Lights Out. I'm Babble. I'm joined here I'm joined by the wonderful God. I play Winn.
We're professional.
My dearly beloved friend who I'm playing with today, who I absolutely adore. Your turn.
Hi, I'm Staria, and I will be playing Local Boy Baby, March. March script.
He who.
The script part is very important.
Tis very important. Speaking of the scripts, he who, this takes place, I believe, directly after. Like, literally not even a minute or so.
After the end of a tripping first encounter.
Yeah. Which was with Winn and Hugh.
Because when you interact with one brother, you gotta interact with the other.
They come as a set, do not separate.
Do not separate them.
And Winn has no intentions of doing so because they're clearly brothers, they're clearly close. They deserve to be as a pair. Never separate.
Yes. Do not separate them.
Alright.
Yeah. I think Winn is currently in the middle of making soup for Hugh. And because Morsky is not a player here, even though she is in the chat, I'd say Hugh has while waiting, he had fallen asleep on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And how about you make a little perception check just to start things off?
Oh boy, perception, one of my favorite things to do with him. Winn, you absolute fool. Where is your perception? Ah, cool, it's just a straight up D20. That's a 1.
Nat 1! Okay! Starting off strong.
God. I've started
You're
every game so far today with a nat 1.
You're so focused on making the fucking soup and making it as best as you possibly can that let me just make percept. God, you don't realize but there's another kid on the couch who is currently staring awake, and the kid on the couch has also not noticed you because he rolled an 8 on perception. I cannot believe this.
I would argue advantage, and I'm gonna roll for why.
Okay.
Alright, you can hear, you would probably be able to hear him singing. And it's not bad.
I will roll advantage. Oh, that's a 23. Okay. Yeah, I think like at first when he's just like waking up, he's like still sleepy, but then he hears a unfamiliar voice coming from the kitchen, and hey, what? So I think March is definitely gonna get up, and I think he's gonna be a bit sus because that's someone he doesn't know in his house, so he's gonna roll
yeah, that's valid. Just some random man making soup in your house.
Yeah, that was the 17 stealth. March is hidden, and he's like trying to see what Winn is up to. You wanna roll another perception?
I would love to.
15. Good, but not enough. I think with a 15, you like turn to the sofa where Hugh is, and you see that like some of the blankets have been disturbed, but not from Hugh, from someone else.
He is immediately very sus. First thing he does though is he grabs out his wand and he moves the covers back to being over Hugh. So that way the poor kid does not get cold.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that he is honestly probably done with the soup at this point.
Yeah.
He had probably been in the middle of like pouring a couple of bowls. And he sets down the bowl to do that, and he's making his way over to see what's up because something else moved that blanket, and dear God, this is a child. Protect child.
And I think from behind you there is this a voice just like, who are you?
Okay, I am going to make. I don't know what I would need to make to not scream. I'm guessing that's probably a con.
A whiz. Oh my goodness.
A whiz? Oh, great. Alright. Or performance. You know what? He is better at performance, but watch him fail this entirely. Never mind.
16.
He will get
Not
a
that
16
bad.
in performance and only 16.
That seems like a trend.
Okay. So he doesn't scream, but he does the Ghiblian thing of the shiver of his outline and everything from bottom to top, and his hair absolutely fluffing.
Aw.
And he's just silent panic, because like, oh dear God. And he's gonna turn around a little haphazardly, just like, heck, who is this? He's not saying anything still, but he's just trying to see who this person is.
Well, you turn around and you definitely see a very tall Toon, almost as tall as Marcel, because Marcel wears fucking heels. And he has with a flower head and 4 arms, along with a very big and flowy red scarf.
I'm gonna roll history real quick, because I'm sure that both Hugh has talked about March, and if he was laying on the couch, Winn has probably seen him. That's dirty 20. He relaxes after he realizes, oh, that's just Hugh's brother. Okay. There's like a hand that goes up to his heart as he just takes a deep breath. It's like, goodness gracious, please do not scare me like that. I am so sorry. Hi, hello, I'm Winn. I brought your brother back. Yes, I know, a very strange random man in your house. I'm so sorry. I found your brother Hugh walking around outside, trying to get to the library. Brought him home. He invited me inside. So
There's like ... and then it's like again. And he's just like, this is not the first time this happened. For both of those, for the both of these. He sneaks out a lot and also tends to bring people he just met into the house. There, until now, most people have been good, but
Still
yeah.
concerning, I can understand. Did you sleep well, by the way?
Oh, yeah,
I apologize. That's
you
probably very
kind of
strange.
bullied me to sleeping.
Yeah, he told me about that. That's why I asked, would you like some soup?
Oh, thank you.
Not a problem, hon. Here. And he grabs a bowl and a spoon for March and just hands it over.
Marge, thanks him and politely starts eating. So your name is Winn Chimes. I don't. Should I make like a history check or something to see if Marge recognizes that name?
I mean, go for it.
Sure. That's a 7. Marge is like, I don't think I recognize your name. Sorry if you're someone important, I guess.
Yeah, he just waves his hand. He's not concerned about being recognized. That doesn't happen that often, and every time it does, man, does he get flustered, but at the same time, it's like he doesn't expect people to know. So he's not bothered. And he just he just does a little hand wave like, "Nah, you're fine."
Marge nods. So I guess you since from what I understand, you met Hugh while he was trying to get books
Mhm.
and brought him back home.
Yeah. Uh, it's not every day that I stumble across a sick child. And especially not one who uh, doesn't have parents. And well, I'm a father of 4 daughters, and you can understand my concern when I stumble
insight
across
on
a
that
child.
he doesn't have parents thing.
Oh boy.
17, nice. Well, since you has told March about the shit but his dad did, and March has a funny experience with his own mother, March immediately just like, and he like looks away, just like, yeah,
Hmm.
about that.
I see.
He's like not really saying anything. He's just like looking away, just
You
like
you can audibly hear
in
him
his
just hum and like, mm-hmm. It,
goodness.
March has been caught.
Yeah, March is like, I'm in danger.
You're not in any danger, hon.
No, just like the whole like meme thing of the chuckles. I'm in danger.
God, no. Well, I mean, Wynn's not gonna press, and he's had his own uh, familial experiences. And I think, honestly, he's just going. He's gonna let March take his time. Let March lead on this. And I think he is going to put the rest of the soup, or at least start putting it in like, what is it called? Tupperware. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
For them.
Mm-hmm. Goodness. I think March is just like Well, thank you again for bringing Hugh back home. Uh, oh, I can and March like stands up abruptly, just like heading towards the kitchen. I can make you something. I have some leftover cookies from the last time I baked. You want anything specific?
No, hon, don't worry. I'm fine. I'm fine.
March already with a cookie jar in his hands.
Take a seat and relax, please.
It's fine. I you're a guest, and he's still like now he's already like taking out a plate, put a couple cookies on the plate. It's like it's like yes, gotta treat the guests.
I think he's going to take one cookie just to be polite, but I'm also gonna roll something, and I'm going to do this at disadvantage because he's intentionally being an idiot. Okay, well, screw you and your dirty 20. I want to catastrophically fail, please. Never.
That was a 20 and then a 21.
Well, alright. I mean, I guess that's how good he does terribly at, like, doing a terrible dad dance. So.
Whoa, good rolls be upon ye.
Where were those during the Hattie FPS? Man. But, Winn, he takes the cookie, but he's waiting until March is looking directly at him, and then he just does, like, this ridiculous dad dance.
I think March is just like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to make you smile.
Well, it worked. I and March is like looking over at where Hugh is sleeping over at the couch. It's like it's Hugh's been sick for a couple of weeks now. It's not getting better. I been
God,
a little
couple of
hard.
weeks.
I want him to get better and just I and like now March is like looking down at like he probably grabbed a cookie and he's like now like fiddling with it sort of just like he's been tired all the time and he just sleeping all day and he wants to get out. I want to go out with him. We want to do stuff, but he's just so tired and I hate seeing him like this.
You think perhaps it might be time to take him to a doctor?
We've been thinking about it. We haven't really had the opportunity yet.
Hmm. Let me see.
I'll have to ask you about it.
Let me see if I know any. And he is now looking through a contact book that he does not keep in his hat for this purpose, so that way he doesn't have to lose it. Okay, that's a 6. And that is nat 1 anyways. Alright. God, I'm gonna argue advantage because he knows a lot of people.
Alright.
17, he's got a short list of doctors, ranging from like an actual doctor to a therapist to like other different kind of doctors, like specialists for certain things. He's looking specifically for doctors for a child, probably one that understands teenagers. Because here in America, fun fact, you're not considered a child anymore once you turn 16.
What?
In terms of the
Isn't it
doctor.
like 18? I thought it was 18.
It
Like,
is,
you're-
but like in terms of like doctors letting teenagers stay in their side of like doctors' offices, because like at least here in Arizona, like
Oh, that's really weird. Okay.
it's really weird and it's really stupid. Like doctors' offices will tell you, hey, go to the adult side now, you're 16 or whatever.
You're a grown up now.
Pretty much is basically what they're trying to say, and I'm just like, no. But
Yeah. Yeah, so he's like giving March the like list of people.
I think he's probably recommending the one that he takes his daughters to.
Mm-hmm.
And like when he shows you the paper, for you to write down, because like there's clearly some dates written down that haven't come up yet that he wrote down with like different names. Yeah, no, he's got appointments for them, for his daughters as well.
Oh, cute.
So I take my daughters to this particular doctor. They do wonders. Should be able
March
to help
nods.
out if you ever need a ride or you need someone else to make the appointment. Just heck. All right. And he writes down on a piece of paper behind that one the name of the doctor, the phone number to call for the doctor, his own phone number, and as well as his own address, and he tears that out of the little notebook that's in and hands it to March.
Okay, March will take the paper and will put it in his hammer space because March does not forget things that are in his hammer space.
There is a chance that if I am not home, my husband is. I do travel a lot, but I should be there.
All right.
But if not, I should be home by the end of the night, and my husband will be there. So, someone is going to be home.
March nods.
But yeah, I would recommend taking him to the doctor at this point. If he's been sick this long, I fear that there might be something else other than just a cold.
Yeah. We figured that. And I think at this point, it's pretty obvious March kind of wants to like move to a different topic because it's making him sad.
Aww. Aww. Let's see, what does he have? What can you do? You dumb wizard. I think subconsciously he's going to cast Dancing Lights because that's his automatic reaction is he sees a child who is sad.
Aw.
auto reaction is to cast Dancing Lights. That is a 17. So immediately, he hasn't really moved. He's kind of doing a little munch on the cookie, and you don't have to roll insight. Man, he enjoying that cookie.
Hell yeah. March baked that cookie.
But around the two of you, you see little golden animals bouncing around and leaving golden trails. And that is his Dancing Lights.
March is just like looking at them for a bit. It's like, oh right, yeah. You'd think it'd be obvious, but it's a friend of you. More often than not, would be some kind of magic user, huh?
I am a professor of magic.
Oh. Well, I can now see even more why Hugh would be your friend, would want to be your friend.
Do you?
I'm just starting to get hang of like magic stuff.
Everybody has their own kind of magic. It's just something that you gotta practice at. However, having a guide is rather helpful.
Yeah, I assume.
Do you need a guide?
I never considered it. And then he's like, no, like kind of like slightly lost in thought. He's like, oh, Aroma can't really teach me because she's not familiar with. That's never happened before. I don't. I mean, I could go to one of the warlocks in the studio.
Well, I mean, that is entirely up to you. I would recommend it. I could tell you some funny stories about when I was your age. And some shenanigans that I got up to with some friends and my own mentor.
Oh.
Practicing magic with a friend and or a mentor can not only help you learn, but it can be chaotically funny. If you would like to hear...
I wonder what that's like.
Oh goodness gracious, let me... Would you like to hear a story?
Yeah.
Alright, so, growing up, I had 3 friends. My husband and I have been friends since we were really young. I also share a birthday with a couple of twins.
Oh.
One of the twins and I would bake together. And we would participate in bakermancy.
Bakermancy?
Yes. The art of infusing cookies.
Just like looking at you, just like eyes emoji.
It is the art of infusing cookies with your magic.
Please elaborate.
What?
March is just like, please elaborate.
So, basically how you do it is you knead the magic into the dough, basically casting it as you're kneading the dough, or rolling it, or what have you. However, my friend and I were chaotic little shits. And my mentor at the time did not discourage this at all. If anything, he was an enabler. I lost so many
Oh
teeth
goodness.
because oftentimes the end result would explode.
My goodness.
So my friend and I had a challenge. I would bring over some ingredients, and she would start the baking. However, by the end of it, we had to smash in as many spells as we possibly could without it exploding.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
How?
oftentimes things would explode, but there was one time when one of the gingerbread men came to life and started beating us both with a whisk.
Oh my goodness. I don't know many spells, and I'm not sure if any of them would be good in a baked into a cookie. And March would like tap the like table, like trying to think what spells he know. Then he's like, I know, I know, Green Flame Blade. Uh, Hugh taught me Lightning Lure, and I know Arcane Weapon and Hex. I don't think any of those are or should be infused into a cookie, but you never know.
You know that using hex in a cookie, if you gave it to an enemy that wasn't hostile towards you yet, that could
I
be
mean,
an
that would
idea.
be instantly aggroing them, that's for sure.
Sure, it would. It probably would. But consider, then you wouldn't have to use a spell slot for that.
So before a fight, feed them. Okay, and March is just like
If you
putting
can
his head
trick
in
them
his
into,
hands.
if you can trick the enemy into eating a hexed cookie, then you don't have to use a spell slot for it.
I mean, yeah, we're like spell slots are limited, but also I don't know how practical that is.
It can be quite practical, depending on the fight.
Oh goodness.
Winn is
Well,
chaos. He's
the
dumbass
fact,
wizard.
God, and March is now dealing with, oh God, he's a dumbass.
See, you think he's a
March
dumbass now. You just wait.
Oh
Wait
goodness.
until Vava tells him stories about Winn.
I think March is just like, well, I might think about it if I find a way to learn Bakermancy.
Hey, at any point, perhaps not today, because it is going to be incredibly loud, uh, I could probably teach you.
Oh goodness.
I have been told, however, that any brain cells that I have just go out the door when it comes to baking. The Bakermancy specifically.
Oh boy. I mean, and March looks at the many people he knows who are very chaotic and very and like questionable brain cells. Oh goodness. We might have to make sure Lynn isn't around because then we'll have Shirley casting casting hideous fuck, what's the spell? This is out of character. What's the fucking spell?
Cautious
Vicious
hideous laughter?
mockery, right.
Oh, never mind.
No, vicious mockery. I was like mixing those two up. We might have pots of chili swearing at us and casting vicious mockery at us, so
Ah, yes, swearing and casting vicious mockery, I know that. And he does. He's not joking when he says that he's had that done to him.
oh my god. And because I haven't had the chance to talk about this particular aspect of March's like a little side effect of March's sudden levels in Warlock lately, you start when you notice that as March is like sitting um slowly at on at the floor where his legs meet the floor. I can talk. I promise. Um,
Staria, my
there's
beloved.
like there's like glowing spectral plants starting to grow. What's like, or you can roll Arcana on it if you'd like.
He is absolutely gonna roll Arcana. Curious wizard. Alright, well.
Roll with advantage. I want to tell this because I had brain rot. Oh my god.
Winn, you ignorant slut.
Winn, please, I'm shaking you. Can I say roll again?
Yeah, we could just ignore the one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. No!
That's
Winn!
Winn, you stupid
Winn!
wizard!
Winn, you stupid wizard! I want to tell this!
You can just say it! Don't worry about it!
Alright, I'm gonna say a 10 is enough because fuck you, Dice Parser, what the hell?
Yes! Yes, more people just saying, fuck you, Dice Parser. I
So,
want that
like-
on a shirt!
Peck off, Dice Parser. So yeah, you realize that's like this is like sort of like side effect from a patron warlock pact that's like it's very pretty and like totally harmless. It's like interesting, but like this child you didn't ask March for his age, so I don't know if Winn realizes that this child is younger than Hugh because he is 15 and Hugh is 17, but this child is a warlock and had made a pact, which is looking and from what he told you, it's a rather new pact.
I think he heard from Hugh that March was younger than him.
Did he?
I believe that was.
I can't remember.
I believe that was the topic of discussion between the two of them. However,
All right.
he's also just pocketing this away. I mean, he's still just assuming that this is a child. Because that was definitely something that was established. Was that they're both siblings.
Children on their own.
Yeah, that was definitely established. And, well, Winn is dad leaving a child, like a couple of children on their own.
Dad man.
And I think he's gonna pocket away the new information until he can figure out how exactly to ask about that, because he's reminding himself of Marcel and how the pact that he has now is a choice. And he's wondering whether or not March chose this or that God chose him. Because he's also aware that that is a thing that can happen.
Yep. I mean, I can roll insight to see if March realizes Winn is questioning it. That's a nat 1! Never mind! Ty Sparks has said fuck everything today.
I mean, roll
Unless
with
you want me to
advantage, to be honest. He's not hiding it. He's got a very
Okay.
quizzical look.
18! 18, fucking finally a good roll.
Yeah, you see he's got a very quizzical look, and it's not really one of a bad thing. It's more so like, he's doing the math in his head.
Yeah, March is just like, oh, and he sort of like moves his leg a bit, and like the flowers sort of like half turn into like colorful smoke and have like reform in like smaller flowers. This so you know how I told you I was new at magic? This started up well, pretty much the next day. And then after that I had my redesign. Well, first redesign, yeah. I mean, technically, I only had one redesign, but and it's like I'm trailing off. And he's
Was this your decision, or was it sudden?
oh well, it was my decision. There's a whole thing where and March is like now trying to think how to say it, and I'm just like, how would March describe the whole shenanigans that happened in his backstory to people who don't know his backstory? Well, there was a whole deal about basically where I came from, and he's like sort of vaguely gestures to himself. And we found a place of origin, and there was like a big tree, and it the keeper of the tree is very nice. She and like March is like now really trying to think how do I say this, because man, when I think about it's really whack, huh?
Winn is just, he's, I'm guessing he's probably leaning against the counter. He's got his hands, like, holding him up, and his fingers are folded. He's being very patient and just letting March figure out the words.
Mm-hmm. Well, in short terms, the tree is essentially the source of my magic, though it was much more unstable before I made the pact. Well, technically it's still kind of unstable. I just got more magic that isn't unstable.
Ah.
Cause now I'm a warlock. Before that I was already a how did Marcel put it? Wild soul barbarian. So that was that, and yeah.
It's not often that. No, well, that phrasing is weird. I, I don't know a lot of wild soul barbarians. I don't know a
Oh.
lot of people with wild magic in general. But I I mean, as long as that is what you wanted.
Yeah, I can also do healing stuff now, which is and Mark Oath again is like there's like a sweat drop, and he's just like once again looking at Hugh, who is asleep, and you don't even have to roll insight. You can probably tell Hugh is a squishy wizard. Yeah.
He's familiar with the whole squishy and wizard and just everything that comes with being a wizard.
Yep.
And he just smiles like he knows.
So yeah, I very much am happy that I can prevent future accidents.
It's very sweet. It is.
We already had a couple close calls. I don't want another.
Understandable. And, God, the look of worry is now back on Winn's face.
He can ask further. He can ask for like, hey, what the fuck did that mean?
I mean, he's gotten up to his own shenanigans. I'm pretty sure he has an idea of what close calls that means. I don't think that is the time to really press too far. Because immediately now
Understandable,
he's
have a
just
nice
like,
day.
alright, well, I want to adopt these children. I'm not gonna let anything happen to them.
Oh my goodness.
Like, that is what's going on in his head now. He's just like, yep, no, I want to adopt them. But God, how do I go about talking about that? I think I think right now might not be the time.
Win immediately. So I'm already a dad, but I can be even more dad.
He can and he will. God,
Dad multiplied.
God, you could roll an insight on him, to be entirely honest. I'm gonna roll a deception, because he is probably trying to hide this.
12. Oh my goodness. Shit rolled, baby.
I mean, watch him get an even shittier roll. Or not, he can just... Alright, you just...
Well,
You don't see shit.
nope. I don't see shit. Just barely.
You can tell he's thinking about something, but you don't know what.
Yeah. March is now like, well, beyond that, with, if you're concerned, with, other than the whole, sickness part, we've been doing fairly well. Uh, especially after, me and Hugh, started actually living together in the apartment, for that he's like, dot, should I tell? And he's like, March is like now looking slightly embarrassed. For that, I was living in a motel room, and apparently that wasn't very good.
I would agree. Whoever told you that wasn't very, very good. Living in a motel, that's not the kind of life that any child should live.
Well,
I mean,
like, I wasn't doing bad money wise. Like, I had, I was working at Dodo Studios, and also I was working as a waiter in a different job.
how old are you?
And the engineer forced me to go to school. What?
How old are you, hun?
Uh, 15?
Okay. Alright. He's rubbing his eyes because he's just like, okay. The dad in him is vibrating now. Like he can't hide it. You can see the father in him just dying.
March is like now concerned because like, what did I say something? Like, did he say something wrong? Did he? What happened?
I'm so sorry. It's not anything that you did. It's I'm more so just highly concerned about the adults in your life. As
Oh well, I no longer work. I don't work in the restaurant anymore, and the studio's on hiatus, so I'm just focusing on school now.
well, if you and Hugh ever need a place to just crash or you need any help at all, feel free to just walk through the door of my place and say something. I don't believe that a child should be alone without a parent or some kind of an adult. In terms
thank you.
of God, I already explained this to you. I don't remember the words. However, children should be allowed to just be a child for as long as possible. It's difficult to do that when children are on their own. And I don't believe that that is any kind of a life for a child.
Virgin's like trying to argue, but also like he doesn't know how to argue this.
But yes, just if ever and whenever you want, just come over to my place. If you want. I'm leaving the door open. That is entirely up to the two of you. And for any reason, if you ever need any help, if you ever just want to study a little bit, if you ever need any food or anything, just let me know.
Thank you. That's very considerate. We'll definitely consider it.
Alright. It is nearing the hour mark. Holy shit. Time flew, that's not fair.
Yeah, though we do have like an 2 hours until an hour until the next 12 FPS, so no rush.
You do, but I need to sleep.
Oh yeah, that's totally valid. So yeah, time sure does exist sometimes.
Unfortunately, it do.
Time is fake. What the hell?
I think after that, he is going to look at the time, if there is a watch around, and if not, then he will look outside the sun.
Like a clock on the wall or something.
He's gonna look at that, and he's going to realize that, oh god, I have spent a lot of time away from home. I should probably go see my husband. So he's just gonna be like, okay, my husband is going to cast sending, and I'm going to hear him nagging at me in my ears if I don't go home soon.
Oh well.
God.
You, I suppose. I if you're well, I assume Q already said, but you could come by here anytime you'd like.
He did, but I would like permission from both of you.
Yeah, you seem all right. So you can come here anytime you'd like.
Alright, I will let you know beforehand. First, though, if I do. I left all of the soup for the two of you. Eat however much you like, and if you want any more, let me know.
Also, when Winn said it, he'll let them know when he comes. Mart just sort of like chuckles and just like said, "Oh, that's already better than what Decimal's doing." When he's climbing through the window.
I mean, he doesn't like showing up
a key, but like we gave up at this point. He has a key to the apartment. He likes climbing stuff.
The only person that Winn ever shows up unannounced to is Zan's place, and that's because that is basically his dad. Hi!
Oh my goodness.
Like, why would he tell his dad? Why not surprise his dad with, like, hi, hello, I'm visiting, now I'm your problem.
This is your problem now.
But with everybody else, it's pretty much a matter of, like, he'll let people know first before he just shows up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think after that, he stands up and, he put, like, there's 20 gallons worth of soup in your fridge now.
Oh my god.
He had a 20-gallon pot. He shoves that back in his hammer space.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll be eating well for the next 3 weeks. How much soup did you make? Oh goodness.
I have a 20-gallon pot. I may have gone a little overboard. I'm so sorry. If you want to take some to your friends, please feel free.
Well, it's good soup. And I don't think Lynn will allow me to give her food because then she'll dump. Because then I'll see 2 more pots of chili near my window. She likes giving people chili pots in surprise. So at this point, I don't think we shouldn't. At this point, no matter what lock we're gonna put on the window, it's gonna get somehow open. So, no.
I'm gonna have to meet this Lynn. I would like to. She seems like a wonderful. She sounds like a wonderful person. And Winn genuinely means that.
March sweating. Yeah. When it's wonderful when she learns how to self-care. Yeah.
Ah, okay. I understand. And you get the feeling he really does. And you get the feeling that that wouldn't go over well with Winn.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
Winn is a father. You will self-care within his presence.
Winn is a dad, and he will dad all of those tunes who are not self-caring.
He will.
Goodness.
He can be a nag. But I think before he leaves, how tired is March still?
I'd say he's like, since I'm basing this off of me, big surprise. When I wake up from naps, I'm like very groggy for like a long time, so he's like still like sleepy.
I think. So after I leave, I would highly recommend just going back to bed, hon. It is getting late.
Oh, all right.
So I will go ahead and be on my way.
And it's like you can definitely see, but March is like already thinking about what chores do I still have.
If there was any point in time in which, like, both of them were asleep, there would have been, like, the trash would have been taken out, because let the kids sleep and give them less to worry about, because he's dad.
Aww.
So, I don't think he would have necessarily cleaned anything like the sink or the bathroom or anything, because this isn't his house. That's a little bit more than what he would feel comfortable with anybody doing in his house.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think like March like looks around, sees like all the chores have been handled. Like, yeah. So it's like, all right, I guess I will go to sleep. Thank you for everything.
It's not a problem, hon. I'm a father. It is kind of what I do.
March nods, and as he goes back to the couch, I think he's like sort of. I think Hugh has shifted in his sleep, so he's like taking most of the couch. So what March basically does, he sort of like picks him up and then like lays on the couch and puts Hugh on top of him.
I think Winn gets out a small stone, and this won't last all that long, but it should last until like they're both asleep. And he fiddles with it for a moment. He's drawing on it, and then just before he closes the door out to go to leave, because he's leaving out the front door now, he finishes whatever it was that he was drawing on the rock or on the stone, and he turns it to face down so that whatever it was that he drew is face down. And when he does that, Dancing Lights comes back on, and
Aww.
the same as before, where it's like little forest animals are bouncing around in pretty gold and very soothing light. And there's like some even on the ceiling and the walls, just doing their thing. And he's gonna close the door very gently, and he's gone.
Aww.
And that Dancing Lights is gonna last for at least until they go to sleep. They're both asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, goodness. Someone's are on the to adopt list, I guess.
Very much so. Like, he is going to be asking around for papers and everything. He's not going to do anything with them yet. He wants to make sure that both of them are okay with it, for one. He also just wants to have that discussion and spend more time with them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm assuming after this, he probably has visited a couple more times just to like check in and make sure that they're all right, and make food if they need.
Mm-hmm.
Probably even brings by some groceries and stuff like that. He's a dad. He's going to make sure that they're cared for.
Oh, I will die for Winn. I will die for Winn.
God.
He cared.
He do. He care very much. But yeah.
I think we can end off with this. Hee-hoo. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, and thank you, Babble, for playing with me.
Thank you, Staria. Thank you,
God,
Staria. I love them so much.